Long before recorded history, before nations or civilizations, Africa was home to an extraordinary beginning. Nearly 2.4 million years ago, in a world untamed and unpredictable, a new kind of human stood tall, Homo erectus. They were explorers of the open plains, survivors of fire and storm, and the first of our ancestors to truly look beyond the horizon. With sharper minds and stronger bodies, they carved out a life in a land filled with both opportunity and danger. Before him stood 3 ravenous hyenas, snarling with menace. Yet alone Homo erectus did not retreat. Armed with nothing but a wooden club, he swung it wide in sweeping arcs, shielding his companions behind him. While the predators lingered, relentless in their stalking, he held his ground, risking his own life so that his kin could seize the precious bones from the carcass. His companions hastily seized the bone from the carcass and signaled the group to retreat. Each hurried step thudded against the parched earth, their breathing heavy and strained. They knew all too well that if a larger pack of hyenas arrived, there would be no way back from this desperate escape. When the last scraps of flesh had vanished, the Homo erectus remained patiently gathered around the skeleton, gnawing at the final traces of marrow. Unaware, they were living a turning point. From using bones for sustenance, they would gradually discover how to shape them into tools, sparking the dawn of a great new chapter in human evolution. A Homo erectus picked up a heavy stone and struck it hard against a large bone to split it open for the rich marrow inside. But unexpectedly, the stone shattered, revealing a sharp shard like a crude blade. His eyes lit up, and with trembling hands he grasped the fragment, testing it by slicing into another bone. From that accidental discovery, Homo erectus not only learned to crack bones for their nourishing marrow, but also unlocked a new doorway. Harnessing sharp stones as tools and weapons, laying the foundation for a great leap forward in survival and the conquest of nature. After shaping their first wooden spears, 4 Homo erectus men set their sights on bigger prey. Under the burning African sun, they moved together across the open plain, eyes fixed on a restless herd of antelope. The heat shimmers on the horizon. The ground is cracked and dry, but hunger drives them forward. With sharpened weapons in hand and determination in their stride, these early hunters prepare for a dangerous pursuit, one that could feed their band for days or leave them empty-handed beneath the relentless sky. After hours of tracking, the 4 Homo erectus hunters drive 2 antelope toward a high cliff's edge. The trap is set, but as they close in, one of the antelope lashes out, knocking a man off his feet, sending him tumbling toward the rocks. The others don't hesitate. With a burst of shouts and spears thrust forward, they strike. In a flurry of dust and chaos, both antelope fall. It's a brutal victory. The winner is the one who has true courage. Under the broad shade of a baobab, the 4 hunters set to work. Stone flakes flash. Meat comes free in clean strips, passed quietly hand to hand. There is no ceremony, only survival. They eat in the heat and dust, storing strength for the dangers still ahead. An event is about to happen, and it will change their lives overnight. Curiosity pulls them toward the burning baobab. Heat shimmers across their skin. Sparks ride the wind. In the glow, eyes widen. This living thing eats wood, drives beasts back, turns night to day. A hand reaches, recoils, then nudges a fallen branch. The flames answer. In that flicker, fear becomes wonder, and wonder an idea. Carrying a burning branch, they kindle a fresh blaze. Meat hisses over the heat. Smoke curls upward nourishment, safety, and the first spark of mastery. $1.9 million years ago, Africa blazed beneath a punishing sun. Waterholes shrank to mud, herds scattered, and every meal was hard won. For Homo erectus, finding food and water meant risk following faint tracks, digging for roots, cracking bones for marrow. Thirst pressed in, heat shimmered, only the adaptable endured. Hurry! They feel it before they see it, a hush, a ripple in the grass. Then a lion explodes from cover, spears forgotten, the Homo erectus bolt, feet pounding baked earth, breath ragged. In this moment, survival is speed, and the savannah gives no second chances. Under the burning African sun, with no rain to break the heat, the land begins to empty. Herds of antelope and zebra move on in search of greener plains, and the Homo erectus have no choice but to follow. Their journey is harsh, dust stings their eyes, and thirst gnaws at their strength. Then, one hunter stumbles, collapsing to the earth. For a moment, the group falters, but their leader steps forward, lifts him onto his back, and carries him onward. In this act of endurance lies something more, a spark of empathy, of care, of loyalty. Together, they press on across the scorched savannah. At last, they find relief. From the cliffs above, a thin stream of water trickles down the rock. The weakened man is bathed, cool droplets washing away dust and pain. Slowly, his strength returns. Each drop is life itself, precious, fleeting, yet enough to spark hope on the long road ahead. Venturing deeper into the forest, the Homo erectus come upon fresh signs of prey, the dung of a wild buffalo. Instinct sharpens, spears are readied, voices rise. Moments later, the hunt explodes into chaos. The massive beast charges, muscles straining, horns slashing through the undergrowth. The hunters circle, striking with stone-tipped spears, shouts echoing through the trees. It is a brutal contest, strength against strategy, fury against determination. At last, the buffalo crashes to the ground. Victory is theirs, won by courage, unity, and the relentless will. Night settles over the forest. With sparks coaxed into flame, the Homo erectus cook the buffalo meat, the firelight flickering across their faces. Smoke drifts upward as the meal is shared, strength returning to tired bodies. When the embers fade, they retreat into simple shelters of branches and leaves. In the stillness of the forest night, they rest together, protected by firelight, sustained by food, and bound by the fragile promise of survival. In the dim light beneath the canopy, 3 Homo erectus cling to the branches of a tall tree, their eyes fixed on movement below. A passing group of their own kind drifts through the forest, voices low, footsteps cautious. From their perch, they whisper and weigh the choice. To follow could mean danger. To stay hidden ensures safety. At last, they remain among the leaves, letting the others fade into the distance. Along the forest path, the 3 Homo erectus encounter another band, 1 male and 3 females. At first, fear and caution tense every movement. Eyes narrow, bodies stiffen, ready to flee. But then, gestures of offering appear, scraps of food, the promise of companionship. Suspicion softens into curiosity, and caution gives way to trust. In this fragile exchange, an alliance is born, bound not by words, but by need, by hunger, and by the draw of kinship. For the first time, strangers choose unity over solitude. Together, the small band of Homo erectus presses onward until they come upon the mouth of a cave. Dark, silent, its depths call to them with both promise and danger. Step by step, they enter, torches of burning wood lighting the jagged stone walls. The passage twists and narrows, echoing with every breath, until at last daylight appears ahead. Where new challenges and new opportunities await. Whether it will be more dangerous or safer, no one can know in advance. From the mouth of a shadowed cave, a pack of ancient wolves bursts forth, eyes blazing, fangs bared. In an instant, the Homo erectus are surrounded, their alliance tested by fear and fury. The forest erupts with growls and shouts, spears striking against snarling bodies. It is a brutal clash, teeth against stone, instinct against will. Blood stains the ground, cries echo through the trees, yet slowly the tide turns. Wounded but unbroken, the Homo erectus drive the predators back. Victory is theirs, hard won, carved from courage and unity. In this savage trial, they have proven their strength together. Homo erectus divide their tasks with quiet purpose. Some tend the fire, roasting fresh meat over glowing embers. Others gather branches and leaves, shaping them into shelters against the night. Each hand finds its duty. Each task serves the group. Here, in these simple acts of sharing labor, the first traces of cooperation take root foundations of a life lived together. 2 Homo erectus step into the night to stand guard. After long hours, their shift ends, and others emerge to take their place. In this cycle of vigilance, safety is shared, and the group endures. At dawn, the group sets out to explore the forest still heavy with mist. Ahead, the shadow of a great herd emerges, forest elephants. Massive and unpredictable, the Homo erectus pause, hearts quickening. Then, with quiet resolve, they turn away, choosing caution over conflict, and take another path into the unknown. A sudden rustle halts their steps. Muscles tense, eyes scan the trees. Danger could strike at any moment. But it is only a squirrel, darting through the branches. Still, every sound, every shadow is treated as threat. Hard lessons, written in blood, have taught the Homo erectus that survival belongs to the cautious. From the canopy above, a troop of monkeys drops to the ground, chattering and scattering. The Homo erectus give chase, driven by hunger and instinct. But the pursuit is brief. The monkeys leap back into the safety of the trees, vanishing into the branches. Below, the humans can only watch, frustrated and empty-handed, reminded once more of the limits of their reach. Faced with failure, the leader does not yield. Studying the trees, he signals a new plan. With calm gestures, he shows the group where to aim, how to strike. Spears are lifted, poised toward the branches above. For the first time, the Homo erectus turns strategy into action. Five Homo erectus men set out with sharpened spears, while the women remain behind to keep the camp. Moving with new confidence, they track their prey through the forest canopy. At last, a strike finds its mark. One monkey falls. Two men hoist the catch onto their shoulders, and together they carry it back. For the first time, the rewards of planning and persistence return to camp in the form of hard-won meat. The next morning, the group sets out once more, this time not in search of prey, but of water. The forest around them is thick and unfamiliar, far from the open savannas of Africa. They move cautiously beneath towering trees, listening for the sound of streams, scanning the ground for damp earth. In this new land, survival depends on discovery, and every step deeper into the forest brings both promise and uncertainty. Seven Homo erectus move as one, following the bend of a winding river. The sound of rushing water guides their path until the forest thins and the horizon opens to the sea. On the shore, a deer strays too close to the river's edge. Instinct takes hold. The group spreads out, eyes fixed, hearts pounding. The chase erupts, shouts echo, spears fly, hooves crash against the sand. For moments, it is chaos, a storm of man and beast. Then, at last, the animal falls. Victory. Breathless and trembling, the hunters stand over their prize. In this single act, fear, struggle, triumph, the story of survival is written again. The river has carried them to the sea and to a feast that secures one more day of life. On the open shore, a fire crackles against the wind. The group gathers close, tearing strips of venison, the taste of triumph still fresh. When the meal is done, two slip away toward the waves. With patient hands and sharpened sticks, they strike, pulling a single fish from the surf. Carried back to the flames, it sizzles over the coals. Under the night sky, with sea spray on their skin and firelight on their faces, the Homo erectus share another meal. For the first time, land and sea together provide, binding them more deeply to this new world. Deep within the forest, the Homo erectus discover a fallen tree, massive, weathered yet strong. With grunts and effort, they hoist it upon their shoulders, dragging it through tangled roots and sunlight shafts. Step by step, they emerge once more at the sea's edge. Here, the great trunk is laid upon the sand. It is more than wood, it is possibility. A vessel, a chance to leave the forest behind. As waves lap at the shore, the group prepares for a journey that could carry them beyond the world they have known. But along with it will come lurking dangers in the vast ocean. From the depths, a colossal prehistoric crocodile lunged upward, its jaws grinding. In the chaos, one Homo erectus lost his footing and fell into the water. The beast surged in, the sea rose, and their fate seemed sealed. The remaining six cling to the drifting log, carried helplessly by the tide. Hours pass, waves rise and fall, until at last, land appears. The current delivers them to the shore of a new island, unknown, untamed, and waiting to be explored. For these survivors, a new chapter begins. They push inland, climbing until they reach a mountain ridge. From the summit, the world opens wide, endless forests stretching to the horizon. Curiosity drives them onward. In the valley below, they gather fruits, pulling sweetness from the land. Then, a bold attempt reaching for a beehive. Honey spills, but the reward comes at a price. A furious swarm bursts out, driving them back in a storm of stings. Laughing, shouting, they retreat toward the stream. Where the camp is overturned and rebuilt on the riverbank. Here, fire crackles, water flows, and survival is stitched together moment by moment in the untamed wilderness. One man and one woman break away from the group, drawn by the promise of food. Together they step into the forest shade, eyes scanning the earth, searching for tracks, scat, and broken branches. Every sound sharpens their senses. Each sign could mean prey or predator in this silent world of leaves and shadows. From the tall grass, a wild boar bursts forth, tusks gleaming, rage unleashed. It charges the pair, knocking earth and leaves into the air. Spears thrust, shouts erupt, a frantic struggle ignites. In seconds, the quiet forest becomes a battleground of survival. Exhausted but triumphant, the two return, carrying the weight of the wild boar across their shoulders. At the camp, the group quickly sets to work, stone tools sliced through hide and flesh, the meat laid over open flames. The scent of roasted pork fills the night air as hunger turns to satisfaction. When the fire burns low, they retreat into their shelters, drifting to sleep, their bellies full and their strength restored for another day. Returning to the shoreline, spears in hand, the Homo erectus once again faced the ancient crocodile. It rises from the surf, eyes locked, jaws ready. But this time, the group stands firm. Shouting, brandishing their weapons, they drive it back. With a hiss, the beast slips into the waves and disappears into the sea. For the first time, the hunters are not the hunted. Following the shoreline in search of food, the Homo erectus stumble upon the carcass of a massive whale, washed up and rotting under the sun. Curiosity overcomes caution. One steps forward, prodding the swollen flesh with his spear. In an instant, the body bursts, the force of decay exploding outward, throwing them to the sand. Stunned and shaken, they slowly rise, the stench heavy in the air. Without a word, they turn their backs on the shore and drift once more into the forest, leaving the sea and its grim offering behind. The two scouts rush to the leader. Pointing across the clearing, a deer stands on the far side. Quickly, the decision is made. The Homo erectus split into two groups, circling wide through brush and sand. Silent, determined, they move into position. The trap is set. The moment of attack draws near. Whether it will be a success or a failure remains to be seen. The chase drives the deer to the shoreline, hooves striking wet sand. But before the hunters can close in, the sea itself erupts. A massive crocodile lunges, clamping its jaws around the animal's leg and dragging it thrashing into the waves. The Homo erectus freeze in stunned silence. Prey and predator vanish beneath the surf, leaving only ripples and the roar of the ocean. The crocodile lingers at the shore, its dark shape gliding just beyond the breakers waiting. The group dares not approach. With no path left along the beach, they turn inland, pressing into the shadows of a cavern carved into the cliffs. Step by step, torches raised, they trade the open sea for the unknown depths, seeking escape in the heart of stone. Within the cavern, the ground gives way. One by one, the Homo erectus tumble into a hidden chamber deep beneath the earth. The way back is gone, no path. No light beyond the stone above. Trapped in darkness, they have no choice but to remain. Here, in the depths, survival will demand new strength and the courage to endure the unknown. And so, their journey in the depths comes to an end. If you found meaning in this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your support helps us bring the past to life.